an apologist should be prepared to give a reason for the hope that is within him or her. And that's not the same as trying to win a debate or an argument. It's trying to present rational, believable grounds or warrants for other people also to consider Christianity as being true. But it's an experience that probably a lot of Christians sometimes have, that they win an argument but lose a friend in winning that argument. And then maybe it's not worth it anymore, so that you have won that argument when you have done it in a way that was not respectful and not gentle and not God-fearing. So a Christian should try to present the best case, but in a way that is gentle and God-fearing, and no matter whether this will be crowned with a lot of success or not. In the case of Peter the Venerable, it was not successful at all. He did what he could, but he failed. His project ultimately failed because on the Christian side, his arguments for rational argumentation were not heard. No, the crusading ideology only failed after military defeats. So only after the Christians lost the war, they started to think, okay, maybe we shouldn't have done it in the first place. and on the Muslim side, he never reached his audience because he could not finish his book. He died before it was finished, and it was never translated into Arabic. So in one way we can say it was a complete failure. That doesn't make it wrong that he started to do that. He wrote, in the beginning of his book, he writes these very moving words, I think. He addresses his intended Muslim audience, and he says to them, "I attack you with words, indeed, but not as our people often do with weapons, but with words. Not with violence, but with rationality. Not with hatred, but with love." And then he spends a couple of chapters explaining why a Christian must love somebody like a Muslim, anyone on earth. So this is not failure if you come to realize that that's the right thing to do, that it's your duty, and that it could be helpful for people. Even if the whole project failed in some way, it also didn't, because he got the Quran translated, so Western European Christians also could get to find out about it. He also got other material translated, which became helpful. And then I think I also was helped by them, because I sometimes get invited to speak about the question whether Christianity is good for our society. And I try to say that if you take Christianity seriously, if you take Jesus seriously, this will lead to freedom of religion, because Christ taught us that we should approach God with love, and love is always freely given. You cannot demand love. So this should lead to a society with freedom of religion. But of course everyone in the audience will think about the Crusades. You know, they will ask me, "Excuse me, have you forgotten about the Crusades? Those Christians, they try to enforce their arguments with weapons. Where's the love?" and then I can say, well, I don't dispute that the Crusades also involved a lot of crimes and horrible atrocities committed also on the Christian side. But even at that time, there were Christians who understood that that's not the Christian way to approach somebody who has a different religion. And then I can go to Peter's words, who explains that he attacks Muslims not with weapons but with words, not with hatred but with love. And that's very helpful for me to see that there were people at that time who understood that following Jesus means loving people and not chopping their heads off, and that we should try to enter into rational argumentation and show love. And so in that way, I think maybe it wasn't a complete failure.